So what's up, everyone? It is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today we're gonna get into this Natasha Denona collection. So she got the mini pastel palette out, and then we got this pastel plexi glow highlighter. So the highlighter retails for 42 bucks, and the 5 pans now are $27. Like the mini 5 pans are $27. I don't know how much the bigger ones are now. She hasn't come out with any in a while, but let's talk about this highlighter because I was kind of interested and I was a little confused about what kind of color it's supposed to give depending on, I guess, what your skin tone is. So let's read about it, girl. Featuring a translucent alabaster base enveloped in a wash of shimmering pink, gold champagne, and icy mint. Pastel plexi glow highlighter delivers sheer glossy radiance in a lightweight gel powder formula that melts seamlessly into skin. And it retails for $42. I couldn't remember how much it retailed for, and then they didn't have it on Sephora when I went to go check, which is why it's taking so long to get this video. I normally just order from her website, but I was like, I'll wait for Sephora to see if they have it, and then they only had the eyeshadow palette and that's the highlighter, and I wanted to get both, so that's why it took so long for this video. My apologies. So now let's get into this mini pastel palette. So it says, inspired by the coveted mini size pastel eyeshadow palette that flew off shelves in 2022. I don't believe that, but moving on. The mini pastel eyeshadow palette presents 5 new luscious limited edition shades in magical multi-dimensional textures. A jewel bright dual chrome mint with pink and gold shifts, 2 icy metallics in baby pink and sky blue, a vivid aqua green matte, and a sparkly metallic muted cobalt. And that retails for $27, like I said. So the highlighter is actually supposed to be vegan, if that makes a difference to you. To me, it's just a highlighter, but you know, I thought I should point it out since they went out of the way to tell you that was vegan. But yeah, so zoom in real quick and cute light. See, y'all, I came prepared. I didn't put a highlighter on today to make sure that, you know, I could put the highlighter on where you can see its true color. If you're curious what's on my eyes right now, this is actually 2 Fantasy Cosmetica palettes. So I combined the Bard palette with my favorite one, which is the Sorcerer palette. And I think the look turned out pretty nice. So here's what the highlighter looks like on the inside. As you can see the mint green, you can see the champagne, and then you can see the pink in it, depending on which way you turn it. So I'm interested to see how this is going to look on someone my skin tone. I haven't watched anybody else's video. I don't know of anyone else that I follow that bought this collection that's of my skin tone. I know Karen bought it, I know Angie bought it, but I haven't seen anyone my actual skin tone with it. Wait, I think it was one girl, I think her name's Whitney or something. I didn't watch her video though, so because sometimes I try not to watch people's videos to get my own opinion. If you're curious what foundation's on my face right now, I actually have on that the NYX one with the skin tint blur that I tried out recently, so I was curious. So let's get with the highlighter here. It's a little flaky when it picks up on this brush, but I'm liking the glow it's giving. Ooh, okay. I feel like I wore the perfect kind of eye look to wear with this type of, you know, highlighter, even if I had just bought the highlighter, because I'm really feeling the way it looks with this eye look. Ooh, okay. What y'all thinking? I'm here for it. I feel like it depends on which area you swatch in, how much color comes up personally though. Maybe it's just me, but that's what I feel like it's giving. So. I didn't want the highlighter to get on my Fenty lip gloss, so that's why it's taking so long. But I'm really liking it. So I use the pink side for this side of the face. I used the mint and champagne side for this side of the face, and down the middle I used tried to combine all 3 colors, but y'all, I'm liking the highlighter. And I didn't think I was gonna like the color because I didn't know how it was gonna look on someone my color. So that was another reason I was like, I would buy it at Sephora, so just in case I don't like the color, I don't have to try to return it back to Natasha Denona. But you know, I am pleasantly surprised. So I never thought I was gonna have an issue with the formula. I just thought, like, you know, because this would be like pastelish whole vibe or whatever, I'm like, it's gonna be a pastel highlighter, and I don't need a pastel highlighter. I don't need that in my life. But I'm feeling the highlighter. I really like it. It's that baked gelée formula that she normally goes with. Like she said, it's the gel to powder formula that I'm here for. But let's open up this little palette now and look at it. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Y'all know this color aesthetic works just fine for me. This seems like a bronzy shade with purple and like green flecks to it. This pink and blue look nice, and then the cobalt looks like it might have some purple in it as well. So I'm gonna go off camera and do an eye. I put the blue lower lash line in on purpose because I feel like it would go nice with the colors that were in this palette, and I was trying to, you know, like make sure I kept it together. But oh goodness, it got really dark. Without further ado, let me go off camera, do the eye real quick, then I'll come back to y'all and do the eye with you, and then we'll talk about the palette as a whole, because I already told you my thoughts about the highlighter. I'm feeling it. I think I look cute. Okay, y'all, so this is the eye I came up with. I feel like you shouldn't be surprised about what I did. So I put this shade all on the brow bone and all across the eye up here to give some extra sparkle and dimension. This is what's in our inner corner. These two are on the lid, of course, and then this is what we carved out with because it's the only matte we had to choose from. Okay, so what I did was I just took this pencil brush and just carved the shape of the cat eye that I normally do. And so I just kind of patted the matte in the crease and then blended it out lightly. I wasn't trying to get a whole bunch of pigmentation going with it. Although it did do a good job of pigmentation, but again, it didn't stay true to the color I feel like it is in the pan. I always feel like it did this. That was my same complaint with the other one. I felt like, you know, it oxidized deeper than it looked in the pan. So when I went to go do the eye look, it's like I'm imagining it looking one way in my head, but the color's oxidized and then it turns to something completely different. So this one did the same thing. Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, because some of my skin tone pastels don't normally or truly work that well for it. It just makes us look ashy and crazy. So with it oxidizing, it does do me a little bit of a favor. So just gonna make my little cute cat eye shape I normally would. But y'all, I'm at the end of the road when it comes to having to work this week, and I've worked like 8 days in a row. Sorry, I've worked almost 10 days in a row. Let me get it right. I'm so tired I can't get the amount of days right. So what happens is every New Year's, people don't like to work for New Year's. They'll work like Christmas and Thanksgiving, and I'm like, I'm someone's mom. I'm not working Christmas and Thanksgiving. I'm spending it home with my son. But I know my son usually goes with his dad like during New Year's and Thanksgiving. He'll let him spend Christmas with me. He might come pick him up, take him out to like his family for the day or whatever, but he'll like let him stay with me for Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's. He'll take him then. So it's like, I was like, I don't care about working New Year's because it's not like I have my son with me anyway. And plus, you know, he doesn't ever stay awake till the New Year comes anyway, so that's another reason I didn't have to really worry about it too much. Okay, y'all, so we're gonna take this shade now, and I literally just dusted it across the top of my brow bone and across like I would normally do with a matte skin tone shade. So let's do that now. And since it just has like little sparkle to it, it just gives like a little extra oomph to it that I thought looked nice, especially since that was the one that was closest to my skin tone. I felt like it was another good reason to put that one there to make up for the fact that I don't have like a matte shade there, but I could have like, you know, some sparkle and shimmer and extra goodness there that I think looks cool and ties into the eye look at it. At least that was my thought process behind it. Anyway, now we're gonna take some glitter glue. Now that I've done that cute little moment, so it didn't even take that long, and then I'm going to put the glitter glue on the lid to carve out the way I wanna have the shimmer sit. I know a lot of people do this with what do you call it? With more eyeshadow primer to make sure it's like clean and sharp, but I'm like, it's not that deep to me. Not to mention, y'all know it's like probably 3 or 4 in the morning when I'm filming this. Sorry, it's 4 in the morning, so I'm like, you know, I'm gonna try to be perfectly precise. It'll be perfectly precise for like the thumbnail picture, because I'm gonna do this look again tomorrow to make a thumbnail that I like better for before I go to work. But you know, so now we're just starting off with that deepest blue. These are kind of sheer though, so I was a little disappointed by that, because it's like I wanted to have a little bit more opacity because of the fact that it's only one of a few shades in here. But you know, I can deal with that. I would just put like a matte that's closer to skin tone of this, like you're supposed to do with the Glaminatrix Glamorous palette. That's why I didn't like the shimmers in there. Apparently she had set it up to where you put the shimmers on top of the mattes and it worked better, which made sense about why when I did the collab with Shawnee, I liked it a whole lot better than, because it was made to do just that. So I've never had an issue with Glaminatrix quality. It was just more of me not, I guess, doing my due diligence when it came to research and making it work the way it was supposed to work. But I mean, I did the second go round. I liked it better that way, so I know now to do it that way. Now I'm taking that blue shade that was toward the front that I showed you all I'm putting it on. Even though I feel like it's pulling blue, icy silverish looking, which is interesting because I wasn't expecting it to do that. Now we're going to go into the pink shade for my inner corner. And I feel like it's pulling more like champagne and a really like peachish baby pink type color, as opposed to just what I, thank you, what I expected it to be, which is more well, pink like the color in the pan. But I don't know, I feel like when she does these palettes, they don't ever look the way I expect them to. So it's like I have to just come used to it not looking the way I expect it to look. So zoom on out and talk about my thoughts on this palette. So I would prefer to have like one more matte in here, not necessarily to deepen up. I just prefer to have one more matte as opposed to like these two metallics and these two sheerish, glitteryish type shades. So, but I mean, I understand it's a 5 pan. I can always pair it with the bigger palette, so it's not that big a deal in that regard. I just feel like, you know, it's a good piece to add to your collection if you want to try some pastels, but you want to spend $1 million on pastels, or you want to try Natasha Denona and was looking to add some pastels to your collection. I feel like this would be a good thing for you. I feel like if you already have the midi one though, you might not necessarily need this. I know these are all 5 new shades, which I'm shocked about because she normally like repeats shades sometimes, but these are supposed to be all new shades. So I like the look it gave me. I just see this as more of a companion palette in my collection. Like I would pair it with other pastel palettes I like better, because I know they would have more mattes. Like for example, the one Artist Couture Mac Daddy Angel came out with, I would pair this palette with his pastel palette that he came out with in, I believe it was 2021. He had the little 8 pan, it was 6 or 8 pan palette that was pastel. I feel like I would pair this with that and they would look nicely together, because you have this one matte, and then the matte in his palette was more I believe blue tone leaning, if I remember correctly, or you might have had a blue and this one. And the shimmers in here are stunning, so I feel like the shimmers in here will go nice with those mattes. So like, to me, this is just a companion palette. But I will say, like, the thing that blew me away, that made me shocked most, was the highlighter. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did, so I'm so glad that I do. It wasn't like, you know, ashy like I thought it was gonna be. So, you know, here's to me, it didn't give me a crazy cast. Here's to me, that's the main thing I was concerned about, that highlighter. I was like, I don't know, it's looking sus, you know. But it actually turned out really nice. So I'm more excited about the highlighter than I am about the little palette, because to me it's just a companion palette to add to my collection, because it only gave me one matte. And if I was really on the run and wanted to do a colorful look, I mean, this is a nice look, don't get me wrong, but it's like I'd want to have a deeper outer V and some other stuff that this just doesn't provide. So it's good quality. It's the traditional Natasha Denona quality, the good one, not the one that's in Zendo and the Tropic palette. It's the good one. It's just more of, it's a companion palette at the end of the day, because you only get one matte to do with it, and that's not gonna be enough for me. So I'm more excited about the highlighter than the palette. So those are my thoughts. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.